A supercomputer has just revealed its Premier League predictions for the 24-25 season, so let me take you through the rankings. The 3 teams to be relegated. Southampton are in 20th, which I think is fair, although they do have quite a lot of Premier League experience. In 19th, Leicester City. This could be considered unfair because they completely bossed the Championship. However, Enzo Maresca did leave for Chelsea and they could be waiting on a point deduction. In 18th, the supercomputer said Ipswich, meaning they predict all the promoted teams to go down. This may be a rogue prediction because many expect Kieran McKenna to do his magic and keep Ipswich up, but the Premier League is brutal. In 17th, they have Nottingham Forest, who performed alright last season. Some players stood out to me. However, I thought Nuno Espirito Santo was slightly holding them back and was a downgrade from Steve Cooper. In 16th, I think it's a really harsh one, but it's Everton. I do really believe that Sean Dyche is a football mastermind. You may disagree. Also, the loss of Amadou Onana and only a few arrivals, this prediction could be justified. 15th, Brentford. I think Thomas Frank is a good manager, but I think they could be in trouble if they don't sort out their squad, because as of right now, I think their team is a little bit rusty, like Ivan Toney last season. 14th, the supercomputer said Wolves. Wolves looked really encouraging under Gary O'Neill last season. I think that they'll finish higher than this. In 13th, the supercomputer predicted Bournemouth. I think this would be quite disappointing after last season when Iraola and Dominic Solanke were absolutely cooking. In 12th place, it said Fulham. I think I agree. Fulham have been pretty solid recently, but I think Marco Silva needs to make some transfers in order to develop them. 11th, Brighton. I'm not really sure what's happening with Brighton at the moment. In the transfer window, they've been pretty productive, of course. De Zerbi has now left, and they're taking yet another risk hiring the youngest Premier League manager of history, Fabian Herzler, who came from the equivalent of the Championship in Germany. I honestly don't have a clue what could happen here. It could go either way. In 10th, the supercomputer predicted West Ham. Of course, they sacked David Moyes and have hired Julian Lopetegui, a good manager. West Ham haven't been too active in the transfer window though, so I think this one's pretty fair. In 9th place, they said Crystal Palace, making them another step closer to the pillar of reaching European football. Towards the end of last season, they were the team to beat, but Michael Olise has now departed Crystal Palace, but I trust Oliver Glasner to replace him well. He's already signed 2 promising players. In 8th place, Aston Villa. A lot of people predict them to drop out the weight of Champions League football like Newcastle did last season, but as of right now, Villa are trying all they can to prevent this from happening, like signing loads of players from Amadou Onana to Ian Maatson. In 7th place, Newcastle, they finished last season on top form. Eddie Howe was behind the reins, with Alexander Isak and Gordon putting on a show for everyone. In 6th place, they predicted Spurs. If they have a good transfer window, I can see them finishing higher because last season they had a great start to the season. In 5th place, Man United. I'm not sure if I agree or not, but Manchester United needs to be sorted out. There's something going on in the state of that club. But they have made loads of transfers already, so this could be possible. In 4th place, it's a shocking prediction with Chelsea. A supercomputer backs them to get Champions League football, with Enzo Maresca at the wheel. I think this one is really unrealistic because Cole Palmer really carried them last season. In 3rd place, Liverpool under Arne Slot. Don't get me wrong, Arne Slot is a great manager, but he still hasn't signed anyone at Liverpool. 2nd place, Arsenal. Every season they get that little bit stronger, but the supercomputer doesn't reckon it's enough to finish ahead of Man City. What a surprise that Man City are predicted to finish in 1st.